I know I look a mess, but I said I was going to get on here and talk a little bit. Um, I'm going to try not to make it long because y'all know I'm a talker. Whew. Okay. So, yesterday, as I was preparing my daughter for bed, I turned on Joseph King of Dreams. I really didn't think too much about it because I've been turning it on for her. It's like a routine. Before she goes to bed, I turn it on because it has a good moral to the story. And, you know, I am a big believer of when you sleeping, your mind is still running subconsciously. And I mean, just think about it. Joseph King of Dreams. She's about to go to sleep. She's about to dream. So why not have this in the background? So anyway, um, I decided to watch it with her. And I haven't seen it in a long time. It's a kids movie. And of course I know the story, but I used to watch it as a child all the time. And I just didn't think too much of it. So I'm watching it, we're in the bed and it began to minister to me. Um, as in my everyday life right now, it began to minister to me and it began to talk to me. Um, in the beginning, Joseph was actually shamed and humiliated by his brothers because God was talking to him and giving him a vision, and he was having prophetic dreams. Now, he didn't know why he was having dreams, but he stood on those dreams and he decided to share them. His brothers already envied him and thought he was spoiled and thought that he was favored by their father, and they were really jealous of him and they were really nasty to him, and they ended up originally they wanted to kill him, but they ended up um, selling him into slavery. um, but even when what really caught out to me is even when Joseph was sold into slavery, you can see his um, consistency and his faith and his unwavering faith at that. Um, the things weren't, look, you couldn't see the forest from the trees at the time. He was enslaved, and I believe he was enslaved twice. And life just wasn't going the way he imagined, and he didn't have any answers as to why, because he did not deserve this. But yet he still bowed on his knees and kept the faith in God and trusted him. He trusted his vision and he trusted his plan for his life. And it really spoke to me because how many times where we're upset because things aren't going our way and we feel miserable and we question God. Why? And we're so upset. And it's been plenty of times where God has gave us a vision, but because we're so into our feelings and because we're so upset with the way life is, we put his vision for us on the back burner because we're always in our feelings. And I'm no preacher. I'm no minister. Um this is just what I'm getting from the story. I'm watching a little kid story, Joseph King of Dreams, with my daughter, but I found that it was ministering to me. He was a humble person. His faith was remarkable, and I really like that about him. Because you know what? I think it took like 13 or 14 years, but because he stayed faithful and he allowed God to continue to walk with him, and he allowed God to order his steps, and he kept that communion with him, and he stayed in communication with him even alone, even when his family turned their back on him, even when he was enslaved twice, he still stayed faithful. He still believed that God had a vision for him. And you know what? Sometimes we don't know when it's going to happen, and we get frustrated when we don't know. When we when the seeds that have been planted to us by God are not coming to harvest at the time that we wanted to. You know how they say it's all in God's timing? Well, it's all in God's timing. God blessed Joseph after 14 years. The vision and the dream that he had in the beginning that God gave him did not happen until years and years and years went by. But God used him. He knew that he had a gift. He knew that he had a calling. And he allowed God to use him. And he was patient. And I feel like sometimes we get sidetracked on that. Because we so caught into our flesh and we so caught around on what's happening. We get sidetracked on what God is telling us, or the Holy Spirit is telling us in our heart to do. And at the end, when the Pharaoh, named him the leader of everybody, he told everybody about his faith and he admired the faithfulness that he had for our God. And I'm just saying this to just say this. In the midst of your pain and in the midst of the hard times, keep going. Keep going. When you know God has a plan for you, stick to that plan, no matter what. It reminds me of myself. When my husband went to prison and we was going through what we was going through, and I didn't know when he was coming home, I kept writing in my journal, God, please help me. I don't know how we were supposed to be moving to Georgia, and I didn't have any money. I was a single mom with 2 kids. And I was so depressed, but I kept asking him, God, please help me. God, give me the strength. God, give me the tools. Tell me what I need to do. And look, my husband is out of prison when things weren't looking good because I thought he was going to keep getting more time. I didn't know. I couldn't see the forest from the trees. We are here in Georgia in a nice house, and our family is together. And this is just not to brag, and it's not to boast, but it's just to give an example. Your faith will take you a long way. All you need is a mustard seed. And when God gives you a vision, don't give up on that vision no matter how long it takes. It's gonna happen. Allow him to order your steps.